right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. Hello there. Shalom and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahia has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable here. Have you ever heard of individuals that say that I bought you a van, but yet you have to pay $14,000? Have you ever heard of that? I bought you a van, but you have to pay $14,000. I don't get it. This message is about the truth of the whole matter. All matters matter. I am about to pour out the information of a lifetime. And you know what? It's not even important to me that one understanding. Isn't that deep? Why? Because it's so much righteousness that rests there in this message, to where I know that righteousness knows its place in the hearts of those that the Father is willing to release unto them. And that means that this message is not for those who don't know their left nor their right. They don't know the difference between up and down. They don't know their goings and they don't know their coming. All they know is that they're in the race and they're going to get to the finish line. And even knowing that, they don't know. So I, Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness, a student of the Ruach HaKodesh, come to you this evening, this wonderful evening, to bring out what one would call the truth of all matter. The reason why is, in these last evil days, the deceivers will outride the righteous by 99.9. And in the Father, it's all well with him. And I think that's beautiful, because the Father knows that everything that was is. That means everything that was heavens, it was in the heaven. Everything is has already been. Heavens is those things which that's coming. Guess what? It is finished. Everything is locked in the heaven, sealed and fulfilled. While we are here on the devil platform, giving what the Father has given unto us, which is the righteous ones. But those that are not founded under righteousness in Yah's brand, they're just out there giving you what they can give you because they need the likes, the subscribers, they need the praise, they need you to honor them, and so on and so on. Let me lock this door here. So Sister Deborah is going to bring out a lot of information so it can help a lot of people that's out there still going to and fro and don't know where they're going or where they come from. I want to let you know that overworking yourself in understanding the Most High Yah and the Bible and what the Most High Yah expectation of you. Don't overwork yourself. Being so that what he has orchestrated from the heaven It is on the earth. Something is dropping, something got to be falling on top of this fan. And I think I better move up. I don't know what it is. It look like this pine tree. And I'm gonna move up just a little bit, but hold on. I'm still here. I'm just gonna move up a little bit away from that pine tree and hope that it can stop dropping whatever it is dropping on top of this van. So, to say this, don't think that it requires your flesh to work in my Father in the heavens will for you or for anyone. It is not the Father's will to let your flesh do his way. You see? It's not in your flesh. It's in your spirit. Okay? It's just like saying that he's going to orchestrate your flesh to speak on his behalf. No, he's going to orchestrate your spirit. And your spirit going to speak out of the flesh. Because it knows to whom it belongs to. It hears the voice of the Most High God. Did you hear it? Haven't you read? He that hears my voice, or he that knoweth my voice. Because it's something in you, which is your spirit, that the Spirit of Yah speak unto. He that has an ear is like unto a spirit. That ear is not your natural ears. It is a spiritual ear to hear the Father in heaven. So a lot of people are thinking that it's all up to them. It's their choice. It's in their power. It's in their authority. Let me tell you something. Heaven has locked everything in and everything out. That means it's nothing you can say on this earth, do, think, feel, change, make your way, clear your way, that heavens don't already have written in the books or the book. Whatever it is, they still feel like it's hitting the top of this thing. So I guess I'm just going to do this video and then pull out. So Sister Deborah is sitting here, just pulled over and just said, okay, I'm going to do this video because I wanted to leave some information out there to you all out there that's going to and fro, trying to get peace and joy in where you're at in this walk of trying to understand the Most High God, or trying to work. You're doing a lot of work to make yourself feel or think, to make yourself think you're in there in a way that it is pleasing to you in your flesh, not knowing that if your spirit has not been given it from the order of my Father's will from heaven, then no matter how much work you have and you applying, and how much money you're giving, and what type of person you're trying to be so you can be seen or heard on the outer man, and then your inner man is wicked and evil and still have been given the order through my Father's will to represent him. Okay, so a lot of people are, I'm gonna go back to my 99.9, are out here running their flesh and calling it the will or the work of the Father's righteous will. Now, a lot of stuff is the will of the Father. All of it really is. But the works of the Father for his will is founded in righteous belief, faith, and fear. And it's not founded in you because of your works that you think and you feel that you have built up on yourself. No, it's righteous belief, faith, and fear is a brand of the Most High God towards your spirit. So this is why people can't experience joy and peace that passes all understanding. It's a lot of things people are not, you can't enjoy, or you can't even use the power of the right hand of the Father. Why? Because the Father is not greater in you. You are not his one that represent him. Because the world told you, if you look this way, if you walk this way, if you talk this way, if you dress this way, if you covered your head this way, if you wrap your head this way, if you eat this way, you see, and if you follow a man this way, you see, they telling you everything you do in the flesh. But let me say this to you. Where do the flesh go? To the grave. So what part of that flesh is following a heavenly will? What part of your flesh that is following the spiritual will of the Father? If all you're doing is representing the order of the flesh goes to the grave called hell. So how is it the things that you're doing to the flesh represent the things of the Father in the spirit? It doesn't. It's what you call deceiving. I also learned in the last week that there are a lot of people that really don't know that they are deceiving the mass in a great number. And the reason why they don't know is because the Father has ordered for them to be in a strong delusion. Okay? He has ordered their lives to walk in the order of deceiver. He has suffered them to have many those that are deceived. See, this is the work of the Father as well, because you are written and your works are written in heaven. Revelation chapter 20. Your works are already written in heaven. Okay? Before you were in your mother's womb, your works were written in heaven. That's to show you the power of this creator in the heavens, to where he didn't let you orchestrate your life, but he chose to do it himself and put you in the proper history book. You see, we sit and hoop and holler about this worldly history book, and we know not of the history book that my Father has. He has a history book for the Lamb Book of Life, and then he has the history books with an S for those who are going to be found dead in those books. That means those people are going to go to the lake of fire. You see, pastors, teachers, preachers, seers, Moreens, watchmen, priests, prophetess, prophets, apostles, I said pastors, evangelists, none of them are going to teach you those things. Why? Because they have been designed to come here to teach you only the things that's going to manipulate you to fall under their category called deceiver. Deceivers that has those in which he or she deceives. I love that, because it leads, it's always a lot of things. Reason why I tell y'all I love it is because I like how the Father crossed all T's and dotted all I's. While we sitting down here thinking we making a fool out of him, because we thinking that we got more of the spirits of people under our control. No one can pluck you out of my Father's hand if you're in the Lamb Book of Life. No man can pluck you out of it. his hand, because you in there for life. Now those that are in the other books, it doesn't matter who plucks you out. Why? Because you're already listed in the BOOKS. So you're going to be founded in one of those books. And it don't matter which one. Your works are already in the heaven, locked in the books to be judged. And that happened before you enter into your mother's womb. I love that, because that shows me, how do you like the Most High now? You see, because we want to play this role so much, and we desire it. The truth of all matters is that, yes, you're lost without a cause, because this is why people don't know where they're at. People don't know their calling. They don't know their purpose. They don't even know where they stand. So they role play their way in. They fake it until they think they're going to make it, and they don't understand. With that mindset, guess what? You are in those books. Because the other mindset knows and trusts in the Most High God. It don't have time to be on this earth role playing, faking it. People, I've said over and over and over, the spiritual brand. You know how an animal brand? I mean, a man would brand his cows or his pigs. I don't know if they brand pigs, but their cows. They take an initial and they burn it and they brand their animals. When the Father, he has branded our spirit that has an image like unto his spirit. He has branded our spirit so that we will and shall return back, because we are branded. Okay? For his name's sake. We are branded for his name's sake. Let's get another example. You speak of Abraham. Abraham was in a vision. And everything he was experiencing from the voice of Yah, it said that he believed. But what they didn't understand, if he believed, what made him leave out of the vision, quickly go to Sarah and spend time with Sarah's handmaid, instead of taking the words that proceed out of the mouth of Yah in the vision. You know why? Because a lot of people, when you read the book, you got to see my Father. I don't care what situation or what chapter or what verse you're looking into. You can't see you can see what's been placed in there, but you have to be able to see my Father. That means the spiritual overall of what is being said. Because a lot of things have been placed in there and smeared, but it takes the Holy Spirit to bring you to it. So we go back to the vision that Abraham was in, and as you see in the vision, it tells how the Father tells Abraham, be not afraid. Why? Because this was the first vision Abraham had ever been in. And when you're in the vision, you're no longer on earthly level. You're on heavenly ground. You're on a holy heavenly ground. So when you in that vision, Abraham knew not where he was, but fear came upon him. And the Father said to Abraham, fear not. And then he began to tell him who he is. So once he told Abraham about his seed and how of great number and so on, it said that Abraham believed. It wasn't that Abraham had the natural belief, you guys. It wasn't that Abraham had the natural belief, you guys. It wasn't that Abraham had the natural belief, you guys. Abraham had the spiritual belief, because he was in a spiritual vision. Okay? And in that vision, he had what? The Father himself speaking unto him. Okay? So we know that in the vision, Abraham is not in the vision as Abraham in the flesh. He was in the vision as Abraham in the spirit. And then it says Abraham believed, but you got to understand it was not the belief that's in the flesh. Because if it was the belief in the flesh, why did Abraham come out of the vision and shoot straight to Sarah and end up laying with Sarah's handmaid to bring forth a child? Come on. After that long spiritual vision he had in the spirit realm with the Father. So it leads me to understand you can read for 80 to 100 years and still be as blind in those years and out of those years. It just doesn't matter. You're just blind because you're going to be blind, because heaven had signed you under where he has written you in. You are written in and under the works of being blind. Okay, so there in the vision, after the Father revealed everything to Abraham, it said Abraham believed. Okay, we wasn't there. Whoever wrote this in there and said Abraham believed, how do you know Abraham believed when he was in a vision? Yah doesn't give you no one permission, nor the authority, nor the power to enter into other people's visions. Okay, now if Abraham would have said that he believed, you would know that Abraham did not believe, because the moment he came out of the vision, when the Father was telling him he's going to bless him with the seed and the children, he would not have went straight to Sarah and listened to Sarah. He would have believed in this vision and in the flesh if he believed. So the belief that Abraham had was spiritual. He heard the Father in the spirit, and he believed in the spirit. So what did the Father say? You are counted righteous. He's saying, Abraham, you already counted righteous. So what did I tell you? When you are branded for Yah's name's sake, you are branded with belief, righteous, belief, faith, and fear. You're branded in your spirit with those 4 titles. It comes from the Most High Yah. So this is why no one can pluck you out of the Father's hand. It's because you are branded for his name's sake. And that's how you're going to return back onto him. And not a man or a woman on this earth is going to be able to have the power, the mind, or anything to change that. Okay, let's get to, let me stay right there for a minute. So Abraham was informed in the vision that belief and faith in the spirit, because it was in the vision, in the spirit realm, he already had been sealed with. So what did that tell you? You see, this is who Abraham is. This is who Abraham was. And this is who Abraham going to be. He is branded already for the Most High's name's sake. Okay? And he's branded with righteousness. And that, it was really trying to tell you and I the power in our Father and his creation before heaven and earth was created. Kind of helping you understand, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I'm already in there? Yes. Okay? When the Father speaks to you and commune with you and deal with you in the midnight hour, wake you up in the early morning hour, and he just constantly communing with you day after day, you thinking he's doing that because you in the flesh? No. He knows already what he has invested in you in the spirit. So he can do that. He can do that. So a lot of things that's going on is people are hearing flesh. They hearing flesh deceive them. And their spirit is created to be a deceiver. Not a deceiver, one to deceive. While the deceiver is created to deceive the deceived ones. So they're working with that God, which is the God of darkness. You see what I'm saying? And they thinking they're allowing themselves to call it the God of the light, the God of righteous. You see? The God of creation. You can call it all that you want and you desire. The truth be told is it's a blessing to be a servant of the Most High Yah in this day and time. It is said how other prophets and servants of the Most High Yah would have loved to be in this day. Me, myself, I don't know about that. As far as me, you know, I could probably tell them something, you know, but I count it a blessing to be living in the days of the end, because this is a time in which my Father has assigned unto me, and I am going to run this race, y'all. And I'm just going to keep listening to him telling me, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I love the lane in which the Father has created for me, and I love his chastising that rests in that lane, and how he's constantly telling me, stay in your lane, or get in your lane. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. Don't forget, I created you and I've given you a lane. That's a blessing in a blessing. And that is something I could share with those who would desire to be the servants of the Most High, that would desire to be in this day and time. That I could definitely tell them. Hey, he give you a lane. That lane is something else. So that there is worth wanting to be in this day and time, to see this day and time. As long as the Father has created you a lane to run in, okay? You know, that's a beautiful thing. So I want to cover the truth of the matters of the Son, the Father, okay? We're dealing with the Father, and we're dealing with two sons, okay? We're dealing with the Father, and we're dealing with two sons. We're not dealing with one son, you guys. We're dealing with two sons working the one mission of the Father, okay? And I want to let you all know there's no such thing. When he says baptizing them in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, that Son is the power. That Son is the power. You remember when John the Baptist was talking about, I baptize you with water, okay? But there is one that's coming that's going to baptize you with fire, okay? So John knew of he that baptized with fire. But one thing John did not know, and you don't know because you don't know the truth of the matters, is that John knew the first son. He didn't know the second son. Praise the mighty Yah. Why did not John know the second son? Why did not John know the second son? John didn't know the second son because the second son was an assigned angel. Okay, he was assigned as an angel, and he was brought a little lower than the other angels. But the son that John knew, he said that was before him, was the Son of Yah. John knew the Son of Yah likened to Nebuchadnezzar, knowing when he looked in the fire furnace, he saw the fourth one that looks like the Son of Yah. That's the Son of Yah. The problem with people today to determine if you in there or if you're not in there, and that means which book are you in. is when you don't know who the power is, then you don't know who the Father is. I love that. Because what has happened is the Father has set it up from the floor up in a way that if you don't know the power, then you don't know the Father. Okay? When you don't know the power, then you don't know the Father. Okay? You can sit and you can say, well, I know Yeshua, I know Jesus, I know Moses, I know David, I know Abraham and Isaac. Those are those who come in the flesh. Okay? Okay. You got to understand who my Father is. It's not of the flesh, but of the spirit. Everything that he sends down here represents his spirit. Okay? So with that being said, the Son of Yah came down in the spirit realm to help out the Son of Man, which is born of a flesh of a woman. The Son of Yah come to help him with the mission of their Father. You're dealing with two sons. You're dealing with two sons. And what they're trying to say, because the Father has suffered them in such a midnight hour, and that's one of my cries was, oh, it's so late, it's so midnight, it's late, it's dark out there, and they still don't know. But what I didn't understand was, Deborah, what they don't know in such a midnight hour, they ain't gonna know. You know why? Because they pushed this whole ideal of their understanding without allowing my Father's understanding to override themselves. So they pushed out their fleshly understanding upon the people, and even if they come to see a pin needle of light, they still not going to make it because their hearts refuse to turn from their fleshly ways, their fleshly understanding, their fleshly interpretation. They are refusing, and they rather take you to the broad gate than to say to you, I'm sorry, I had it wrong, it's wrong, I need to tell y'all it's this way. You see, that's the power in really what you see on the face of the earth today. People running in the area where there's darkness and calling it light, and everybody just going where somebody is running their mouth telling you that's the light, and that is not the light. So going back to the son, we're dealing with two sons, okay? And the reason why there's a son, because the Father created his only begotten, and that was his power. He couldn't come down and say, well, here is the power. Here is the power. What sense would that make to people who don't have no sense and ain't gonna have none? It would make sense to even he that think he got some sense. So he had to set it up as a son, and he called it his only begotten. That means that's my only one I have. Praise the mighty God. Why was the Father calling it his only begotten? Because that was the only one that he had. And he knew what was his only. The one that he said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, let us. He was talking to his only begotten son, which is his. It wasn't called the only begotten son. It was called his power. See, he became his only begotten son when he wanted to allow that power, his word and his spirit to come down and rest in the Son of Man. Then he said, I'm going to create my only begotten. That's why it said he came down with all power. Wait a minute, hold up. What you mean all power? The only begotten son that Yah created to come down with the Son of Man. Okay? But in the beginning, when he created everything, his whole ideal of creating everything, he wanted us to feel that thing. He wanted us to get a taste of that power. Come on, y'all. Let me tell y'all, there's a part of me y'all need to really just get a taste of, get a feel of. So when he went into Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, and on and on and on, when he was saying, let, he was telling his own power to bring it forth. It is a crying shame today in the year of 2023 that you have all these pastors, all these bishops, all these evangelists, all these teachers, all these priests, all these prophetess, all these seers, and all these moorings, and all these watchmen. They don't know their left hand from their right. And this too is the will of my Father. Because all that time, the Father is the Word. And when he spoke the Word, his power brought it forth. That's why he was saying, let, bam, there go the power. The power is the Father's right hand. It is the Father's right hand. That's his power. I'm trying to pay attention to this car that pulled up in front of me. I got to keep my eyes on it because he has no reason to pull up. Okay, but that is my Father's right hand. So when he said, and all these lets, he was speaking the word, and his power, which is him, brought forth. That's why he said, and Yah created in his image, in his likeness, created them. But if it's he the one created, who was he saying? Us. He was talking. He was speaking so that we that are elect, that are righteous, belief, faith, and fear branded for his name's sake would know exactly who let is, to whom he's speaking. Yah speak, let, and his power perform it. It's just like you. Go get you a glass of cold ice water. You're going to think it. Some of us might say, with somebody in the house, I'm getting ready to, oh my goodness, I'm getting ready to get me a glass of cold water. A lot of times we would say that to someone that's in the house, that's there with us. We'll say, let me get me a cold glass of water. Look at that word, let. But it becomes what's here. And then you say, I'm finna go get me a glass of cold water. And when you go in there, who's fixing it? Is it fixing itself? Is you or you getting you a glass of cold water? Is it come together by itself? Well, that's what Genesis chapter 1 is. He said when they missed Genesis, Deborah, chapter 1 and chapter 2, they have missed the whole book, in which they are to study as a study guide. They missed the whole book because the power of spirit and truth rests so deeply in chapter 1 and chapter 2 of Genesis. And he said if they missed those two, because Deborah in those two was my perfect will. And yes, Satan has also, not so much as, yes, Satan's right hand. His right hand is the Roman Catholics. You can't not get people in the church, in the synagogue, in the temple, in the different, all religions, even the Hebrew Israelite religion, cult. I put it like that. You can't get them to see into none of this. Why? Because it is written, as Yeshua tried to explain to you all, and Satan. But see, a lot of things we are reading, we thinking it's for somebody else. Oh, it ain't for us. We know this, we know this. And that's what's wrong with us. We know nothing, but we say we know something. That's our flesh working 100 within us, keeping us from even knowing what is spirit and truth. And that too is the will of the Father. Because if your destiny is written in the books, in Revelation chapter 20, then therefore, no matter what you do, say, or how you conduct yourself on this earth, it is vouching for who you are in heaven. People don't get that. I heard Moses sit and tell the Father, if you don't forgive them, then take my name out of the book. See, Moses knew about the book, but why didn't Moses teach you all about it? Many things they knew, but they never taught you all about it. That's the power in who the Father is. Why is it he a suffering Sister Deborah? Because he says, oh, for Deborah, it's finished. We're in the midnight hour. So right now, if they don't know who they are and where they stand in me, most likely they don't stand in me because they don't know me. You see? So we're dealing with two sons. We're dealing with the Son of Man born of a woman, and then we're dealing with the Son of Yah, who is his only begotten. You have to understand what only. Now, if the Father is orchestrating something in a form of only, that means it's only that one. Praise the mighty Yah. And if he's saying begotten, the only one I have, that's his power. That's his power. He can make many of sons of man. So now this is where the mystery is at, and I know y'all gonna miss it, because if y'all don't give it to you, you ain't gonna get it from Sister Deborah. Sister Deborah finna hit you dead in the stomach. Okay? When the Father says, my only begotten, my only is his only begotten. He was talking about his only right hand power. It's his only power. He got that he was sitting down with the Son of Man. That's why it said that Yeshua didn't come with just word. Your study guide tells you that. The Bible. He didn't come down with just word. It makes sure you understood he came down with power as well. Now, if the Most High called us his sons, okay? We are his sons. Okay? If he calls us that, then therefore it ain't the only. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not the only. Okay? If he's saying the only begotten, that was Yah's power that he was sending down with the Son of Man. His only begotten power that I will send down with the Son of Man to complete the mission itself. We don't know it, nor do we understand it, and because, and I don't say because, I cannot lie on Satan. I cannot lie on him to the point of saying the reason why people were they at because of Satan. No. If it is said that we are our own worst enemy, then that leads me to understand if heaven had already written you either in the Lamb book of life, which is one, or in the books with an S that leads to the lake of fire, then what power did Satan have to control and rule over you? How can that be? It can't. It can't. He don't know which book you are in. He can only see how you conduct yourselves and the way you conduct yourself, and assume that, hey, they're in that book where I'm at. Because see, Satan is in the books as well, going to the same destiny, the lake of fire. So Satan don't know who all are going to join him. See, this is flesh of men teaching people. You know, Satan is not as wise as you all think, and you give him glory and credit to be. Sister Deborah can't give that to him because I know who he is, and I wouldn't have never known who he was and is if it wasn't for my Father in heaven, my true teacher. Okay, Sometimes in life, I know sometimes you have to learn to shut up, shut your ugly mouth, and listen to what the Spirit of the Most High is saying. And because no one has that space in them, nor that desire to just be humbled under the Most High Yah and listen to Him from the inside out. I was dealing with Him on that today. Father, it's an awesome thing to have you from the inside out, because the inside gonna get everything right, and you gonna be right on the outside. But if it don't deal with you from the inside, and the whole world, every religion, every church, every pastor, bishop, teacher, evangelist, prophet, they teach you from the outer man. That's why the Father says you are your own worstest enemy, because Yah is not measuring you based on how Satan used you. Yah is not measuring you based on how Satan uses you. You go to you go to a Revelation itself, and He's telling you about how the earth and the sea take one look at the Father on the throne, and it takes off running. Same thing is going to happen to the stars, the moon, and the sun. They're going to take off running too. Who are they running from? Hold on, Father, yeah. Who are they running from? He that sits on the great throne. And just because you in the flesh and you ain't got the sense to recognize my Father and His power, you're not afraid of Him. You don't care about what Sister Deborah's saying. You don't care about nothing. You think you got this going on because some man, which is a pastor, teacher, bishop, apostle, prophet, evangelist, and all these people who are on here role playing, tells you. You think you in there. You better check out Revelation chapter 20 and see what the sea and the earth felt about He that sit on the throne. They took off and never were to be seen again. Same thing you're going to be able to see. Many of you all, the stars falling. You're going to see the moon trying to run. You're going to see the sun trying to get out the way. Why? Because He that holds all light need them no more. You was just a creation. See, and we don't have, that's what I call having power. Understanding my Father in the heavens power. Let's go back to these two sons and this one Father of creation. So when I say that the Father say His only begotten, you got to understand, only begotten. Only one I have. Tell them that, Deborah, and tell them how they like me now. Listen to what they're saying. Only begotten. When can you title the Creator as a only? Huh? Not near one of you at the sound of my voice can justify, clarify, and identify or have sense to wrap that around your finger. How is it that the Creator can say, and it is said, His only begotten Son? Hold up, Father Yah. Hold up, Father Yah. Ain't no such thing when it comes down to my Father in the heaven. The Most High, Ahaya, ain't no such thing as only. He owns it all. But something means only. Begotten. The only one. And guess what that is, y'all? That was His power in Genesis chapter 1 when He was saying let. And then He turned around in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. Let us, meaning His power, bring forth something that looks like us, which is a spirit. Yah's power is His spirit. You see, it is who He is. Like your right hand, where your strength is at, is you. You cannot separate your power from you. That's your only begotten right hand, you guys. That's your only power. One of your hands is stronger than the other. Let's take the right hand. That's your only power that you begotten. Well, this is what the Father is saying. And what he was saying is, my only begotten, I'm creating it as my son to go down to work with the Son of Man. That's what he did, you guys. So there is a son of Yah and there is a son of Yah. The son of Yah came down with power, spirit, and word to work with the flesh of the Son of Man to complete the mission. Okay? That's how it came forth. Okay? So when you hear everybody in such a midnight hour as we are in the year 2023, and they still trying to battle with Jesus is God. No, he isn't. No, he wasn't. And no, he ain't. And you can go right back to Matthew's, I think it's Matthew's 25. Go back and read the whole Matthew 25, and you'll hear Jesus, as the world calls him. And it's okay for the world to call him that. All over the world, they call the name different. You see? We know it from the Hebrew language. We can't come over to a land in which our Father brought us in and claim our language when he told Abraham thousands of years they go into a land that their fathers knew not of and a language they never knew. So therefore, that lets you know when you hear people saying Jesus, leave him alone. You don't have the no to judge or to say what a person. He never told you in Deuteronomy 28, Deuteronomy 28 that you gonna come here and change their language. You gonna hip them with your Hebrew. You didn't even keep your own Hebrew. Your forefathers and their fathers that came on the ship, none of them kept their language. Not because someone took it from them, it's because that's the type of people they are. They came over here. Before they got over here, they was already stiff-necked, rebellion, disobedient, whoremongering, all this here stuff that you see them doing today. They were that way in the promised land. That's how they lost the land. See, these men are not going to tell you all the truth. But you know what I do? I thank the Most High Yah for allowing the things to turn out the way it is, and it's still going to. It's just hard for me because I'm flesh and I'm spirit. But because he have taught me so much in the spirit, I can kind of embrace things much, much, much better in the flesh. Even though I'm beholding these things, I'm the one that they are to come to, in case y'all didn't know that. I am the one that they are to come to sit with and come to the conclusion, the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. All the men, I am the one. And they won't do it because what? They're not in Yah. They so busy showing you the broad gate. They so busy being what they are in the Lamb, not the Lamb, in the book of life. In the book, not the book of life, in the books in Revelation chapter 20. Read Revelation chapter 20 and it'll blow your mind. You'll see that there's two separate sections that people are going to. There's not going to be a lukewarm in heaven. There's not going to be that mercy and that grace and all of that everybody is being lied about and told. Oh, he ain't sending you to hell. Woo-wee! You see, all these things you should understand. You're messing with my Father in the heaven. You see, and I, Sister Deborah, will not and have not and refuse because he is so great in me. How can I refuse his greatness? What did it look like? How can I refuse he that is greater in me than he that is in the world? So the reason why I really got this message is because I wanted to set every Hebrew Israelite, fake Jews, true Jews, anybody, really the so-called true Jews, the chosen Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob seed, you're lost without a cause out there. And you're leading the mass through the broad gate. This is not the heathens and the Gentiles leading these people. Your own nation is leading you all through the broad gate. with their eyes and their mouth wide open, and you're following it every chance you get. And they're not going to turn away from these evil, wicked ways. They're not going to offer you a rat's behind. They're not going to offer you spirit and truth. Because to offer you spirit and truth, it would identify their mission from the heaven. That's why they can't come and tell y'all the truth of the whole matter. Because they would be sending themselves down the stream, down the river. And they are not going to do that, especially on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Rumble, and all these other pages. They're not going to send you down that way. For what? They're not going to send you in the right direction, because they have won you over. They have won you over with subscribers and likes and praise. Your praises is given to the flesh. None of it is given to my Father, who is spirit, and he is truth. You want to glorify the flesh so much, it shall and will identify what book you are in. For Yeshua came, Moses spoke of the book, telling the Father to take him out like he owned something. To me, Moses wasn't dealing with a full deck, and the deck wasn't dealing with him. Because I've sat and heard the Father say, because your unbelief, you're not going to the promised land. Wait a minute, Father, y'all, come on, talk to me. No, you ain't gonna get these men to teach y'all that. You ain't gonna get these men to tell y'all how Moses really conduct himself with the Father. Told the Father he need to repent for wanting to destroy the Israelites. And then when he got down, he threw the tablet down and went and killed them, according anyway to the way the Father was planning on doing it. But he's telling the Father on the mountaintop he need to repent. Now, how is Moses going to repent when he came down and he killed them by great numbers? You see? I mean, it was within an hour from up on the mountain to down to the earth. Well, wait a minute, you was just on the mountain telling Father to repent for wanting to destroy the Israelites. Now you come down and you kill them? Come on now. Because you angry. You angry. See, Yah will show you up and show you out. He know who you are. Sister Deborah don't need to know who you are, but I thank him for, I'm going to tell y'all something. The lane in which he has created for me, he also has given me those gifts. Okay? And those gifts also represent the lane in which he has created for me, when he constantly telling me, Deborah, it's okay, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. That helps me out a great deal, because the lane is a form where you can get some comfort. You can get some understanding. You can get revelation. You know what I'm saying? You can get visions and dreams in this lane. So I say if it could have been heard about the prophets and the servants of the Most High who would desire to step in this day and time, I would say you would desire to have a lane in which the Father has created in this day and time, because it is a awesome lane to run in. Okay, so when you hear people talking about the two sons and the Father, I'm gonna tell you where John the Baptist stepped in it. John the Baptist spoke to everyone, and he told them in the study guide, which is the Bible, that he I knew before. He was letting you know I knew before. Who is that he? The power of my Father. That's what John the Baptist was talking about. I knew him before. Meaning before the foundation of the world. My mission was given to me, and I knew him. So when he got into prison, this is what you all never understood. Because the Spirit of the Most High Yah teaches his. That's why he said, if it was so, it will fool the very elect. And what he's meaning, those that he has elect from the heaven, they can't be fooled by you all. And you can't fool them. Because Yah has molded and shaped them, predestined them, ordained them, appointed them, anointed them And no man can pluck us out of his hands. Not with their understanding, not with their flesh understanding, not with their flesh wisdom, not with their flesh knowledge, not with their flesh teaching, not with their flesh feelings, not with their flesh emotion. Stand down, all of you clowns. Because you don't represent the Most High Yah. So the reason why John the Baptist pulling up, he's in prison now, right? He tells, now this is what I'm telling you. Now this is the part I'm going to show you. And watch it go over everybody at the sound of my voice. Watch it go over your head. Watch out why instant it goes over your head. Now watch this. Here goes John the Baptist. I'm pulling up on John the Baptist. He in the prison. He tells the disciples that were speaking to him, I'm assuming through the bars, telling them to go and ask Yeshua, which the world called Jesus. Go ask him, is he the one? It's not for you, it's for me. Let me say that again. It's not for you out there, it was for me. John the Baptist was only sending a message to Sister Deborah to go, when he sent those disciples to go ask Yeshua, which the world calls Jesus. I need to stop saying which the world calls Jesus, which many call Jesus. John the Baptist in the prison, he said, go ask, is he's the one, or should we look for another? Why? Because John the Baptist knew he before the foundation of the world. And he's not talking about Yeshua, Jesus. He's talking about the Son of Yah. John the Baptist is asking them, are you the one? Watch this here. Or shall we look for another? What John is saying, are you the power that I know? Or should we look for another? You got to understand. Yeshua was seen by John coming. When John say one that comes that is not worldly to lace his shoelaces, or when he said that he need to baptize him, John was talking about the Son of Yah. John was talking about the Son of Yah. Say it 3 times. John was talking about the Son of Yah, which is who? The power of Yah. What you mean you want me to baptize you? Father, you the power. You need to be baptizing me. Your shoelace is not even, I can't even lace your shoelaces. I'm not even worthy to lace your shoelaces. You see, John knew him. And then you go back to John. John will tell you. He'll tell you, but he ain't going to tell you nothing. But he told Deborah, he said, Deborah, I knew him before. He was talking about before the foundation of the world. I knew the right hand of the Father's power. He didn't know Yeshua. Yeshua was made a little lower than the other angel. He was an angel. And John the Baptist was leading you all to know there was 2 stepping on the scene. The Son of Man and the Son of Yah. The Son of Yah was Yah's power that John the Baptist knew. That's the one that was coming with the fire, was the power, the Son of Yah. He was coming down with the fire, the fire of baptism. But the Son of Man, he said to us, I knew not him. So when he's talking about worldly to lace, and that why should he need to be baptized and him not him baptized? He was talking about Yah's power. How do you know that? Come on, go with me right here. Come on, let's go a little bit further. Now, John, it's time for John to decrease. And John don't have no problem with decreasing. He knew his mission. That's why he stayed to himself out in the wilderness. He ate what he ate. He stayed out there because he knew his mission. John knew his mission the whole time he was here. John knew his mission all the time he was here. Isn't that sad? You don't even know who if you got a mission in Yah. You don't know if you got a purpose in Yah. You don't even know if you are predestined with the holiness or the foreknew before the foundation, predestined, ordained, you know, you anointed nor appointed. You don't know nothing, but you're running around here claiming it, faking it until you think you're making it. That's a bad situation to be in this midnight hour, to not know where you stand in the Father. So here goes John the Baptist. John the Baptist knew. He said, tell you what, disciples, John the Baptist is in the prison. Go ask him. Go ask who? Go ask him. They knew who he was talking about, which was the Son of Man, Yeshua, which was Jesus. Go ask him, are you the one, or should we look for another? Yah orchestrated his power to not speak very many words. I love this scene. I love this whole part of how the Father taught me this, because it brought me to a level of knowing that, Father, they would never find their way this way. They would never see that. You see, this is what he said. John the Baptist's son, his disciples, to go ask Jesus or Yeshua. Are you the one? Wait a minute. What you mean is he the one? Don't forget, you baptized that one. You know you was the one that said that you couldn't even, the Lamb of God. Who was that you talking about, John? He said, Deborah, I knew the power of Yah that was coming, and that I was, John said, I was the one who was assigned to make way for the power of Yah. Wow. You mean, John, you was preparing the way for the power of Yah? Yes, Deborah. That's the one I knew. Go back and see what John say. I knew him before. He's talking about your father's power. See how y'all gone? You running y'all tails around here with no power, no joy, no peace, no understanding, no wisdom, no knowledge in the spirit realm. But running y'all flesh. Oh, I know it. I got it. You know, me. Mine's mine. Go right ahead. Anybody that caught up in life about me, and mine's mine, you best bet your name are in those books. Be proud. Your name is in the books. Okay, so be proud. So live your life to the fullness while you on this earth, because it means nothing in the heavens of the Father. When people are caught up on me and mine, and everybody think that I ain't doing nothing but what pleases me, what's good for me and mine, have it only for me and mine. Good deal. You know your mission. You know your purpose. It can be found in the books. Okay, now this here that I'm about to say, the Father just gave it to me while I was speaking to you, and that's why I was telling you it's not for you. It's not for you. What am I doing? I'm in my lane. Why would the Father create this sister to have a lane? So I can continue to speak the light. I can continue to speak the spirit and truth, because that's just how just and righteous he is. He's going to always have his present to tell you spirit and truth, even though he know you're not going to receive it. Let me say that example. Remember Noah? He had Noah to build that ark. All those years, Noah constantly going back telling them. Did one come out outside of Noah's family? All them people's father, you had him going telling them people to come in out the rain. Did anybody come in? Did any of them come out? Not one. So do you think for 1 minute that the Father has his anointed, appointed prophetess on this devil platform talking to you because he knew you're going to pull in? No, because he knew you're going to continue to pull out. I don't have no problem with that. This is how he's revealing things to me day by day. I give him all glory and all praises for that. Now let me tell you about John the Baptist. Now you're going to learn something tonight. You're going to learn that there's two sons, the Son of Man and the Son of Yah. Okay, you learned already that the Son of Yah is the only begotten, the only power that the Father has, which was all power. He can't say the only begotten Son of Man. He got a lot of Son of Man. We are considered the Son of Man to Yah. You see, we were all once angels. We are considered the Son of Man. So you got to separate the Son of Man from the Son of Yah. And once you're able to separate the two, when you are reading in your instructions and direction book, then you're on the right path. You can be able to separate them two, and the process of you separating them two, you're going to bring them right back into one. And it's going to be beautiful. So you have to learn to let the Ruach separate the two so you can be able to identify. You can't get the Son of Man caught up with the Son of Yah. The Son of Yah came with word, power, all power, and spirit. The Son of Man came born of a woman in the flesh as an angel to represent. So therefore, you can't get them confused. And if you do, it's okay, as long as you study the Son of Man, and then you pull up and study the Son of Yah. You give more glory to the Son of Yah, and then the Father will show you how to bring the Son of Yah into the Son of Man and make them one in the what? The Father. Let's do it. Let's see how John did it. When John said at the beginning, when he saw the Son of Man at a distance, he went on to come and he went on to say the Lamb. You know, John knew that the Son of Man was coming as a sacrifice, but he didn't know him. He didn't know him, but he knew the power, which was the Son of Yah. He knew of the power. So this is what John has said. Now it's time for John to decrease. Watch how John decreased. Oh, Father. John in prison, he tells his disciples, go ask Yeshua, ask Jesus, are you the one, or shall we look for another? What John was trying to do is feel that thing. He was feeling it. He was feeling it. But even though he was flesh, he still was feeling that thing. But he wanted to know, because he knew from heaven, he was orchestrated from heavens, not on the earth, that he had to complete this mission. When the Son of Yah comes, then you're going to decrease and he's going to increase. See, that's just like everything else. Even Yeshua, he had to decrease so the Holy Spirit can increase. Why? Because Yah needed all his power back. Yah needed all his power back that he gave the Son of Man. Why? Because he wanted to bring it in us through himself. That's why Yeshua was saying it is important, it is deep that I go. Because when I go, the Father is going to see it. Why? Because Yeshua had the Son of Yah with him, which was all power, the Spirit of Yah and his word. He had to decrease so that can increase in us. That's the same way John was saying. He was saying to Yeshua, the Son of Man, are you that power? Or should I remain alive until he comes? Let me show you the hookup. Let me show you the hookup. Watch this here. So when the disciples saw Jesus or Yeshua, what did the disciples say? They said exactly what John said. What did Yeshua say? Nothing. Yeshua say, see. In a sense, now it's time for you to see and then go back and tell what you see. Not Yeshua didn't have the authority to send word back to John the Baptist. Yeshua didn't have the authority because Yah did not give Yeshua the authority to answer John the Baptist. I'm going to close after I tell y'all this because it's kind of making me to know this is lost information out there, even though the truth has been set free on the earth. Yet and all, we live in a lost mind situation in this day and time. It's starting to feel sad to me that I'm even on here speaking this. And I know you might say, well, why you should be glad to be doing the Father's will is because I know something deeper that you don't know about. And if you don't have a lane that the Father created you to run in, you wouldn't know what I'm feeling. Okay? So let me take you there. So the disciples went to Yeshua, which is Jesus, and told him what John said. The Father did not want Yeshua to really say more so anything, but tell them to just see. It was what was happening that the Father wanted Yeshua to show the disciples so they can take that back to John the Baptist. Now one of you all can tell me what it was. You couldn't tell me. Let me tell you, I have to tell you what it was. Jesus, Yeshua, it wasn't important for him to really hold conversation and prove himself to be the one to the disciples, because this is about what heaven had already orchestrated. John, you decrease. When this comes, you're going to decrease. And Yeshua is going to increase. John knew that. But he needed to say farewell. I'm out. And what was that? One thing. Only one thing that John needed in the prison is to know. Not Yeshua. Not the Son of Man. Not Yeshua. Not Jesus. Not the Son of Man. All John needed to know, that the power was at hand. John didn't need to hear a word out of the Son of Man. He didn't need that. He needed to know that the power was at hand. So that is exactly what took place. The disciples went back, and this is what Yeshua was saying. Tell him this. What they were seeing, the blind, eyes open, the lame walking. These things were the power of my Father. See, he didn't have to send word by them. He sent them what was going on with the power. So when they went back to John and they said, the lame is walking, the blind is seeing, what John said, oh, it's on. He salute the Father. It is finished. See, that's what Sister Deborah tells you all. When John saluted the Father, he was saying it was finished. What? Where heaven had orchestrated John the Baptist, which was an angel. He had orchestrated his beginning to the end. And his end was to decrease once. Not that you see the Son of Man, not that you see the flesh of a man, but that you see the Father's power. And that's what was relayed. Many of you all will go to that verse and you will screw that up and screw it down and still wouldn't see it. But it's right in your eyes, plainly seen, natural and spiritual, that John didn't want to hear a word. He wanted them to tell him what they saw. And when they told him the power was at hand, John said, all right, my work is done. He could salute the Father and sleep, because his whole mission from heaven was completed. And that's what I'm saying to you all. Can you salute? Can you salute the fact that, okay, you called me to do this, you chose me for this, you anointed and appointed me for this? Can you out there know who you stand with? Or are you standing with the flesh of men and women, calling yourself holier than thou? These men and women are teaching so much hate. They are teaching so much sorcery and witchcraft under the name of Yeshua, Ahaya, Yahuwah. Under those names do they do that. That's why that is not the name that Yah focus on. You see, John, he didn't want to focus on the Son of Man. It wasn't about his name. Go tell me, ask him, is he the one? John say, tell him this, what you see is being done, which was the power. They takes it back to him. All he needed to know about the power. He don't care about who Yeshua is. He talking about the power. That's who he was saying that I worldly to lace. And he questioned the baptism. It's because he knew that Yeshua didn't come down just as the Son of Man. He came down as the Son of Yah in all power, word and spirit. And we have forsaken it for thousands of years, not even knowing the truth of the whole matter. We're still running around here. These men on these devil platform in the Hebrew Israelite movement still feuding the things that pleasures their flesh. They out here drinking, whoring, abomination, adultery, and calling it right. How can you call anything you do in your flesh righteous? That's a lie from the pit of hell. You can't call nothing that you get pleasure in your flesh. You cannot call it righteous. That's why polygamy is the work of sorcery, witchcraft, evil doing, evil thinking, and evil feeling, loaded with lust. Everybody under this Hebrew Israelite is really under a cult. They are locked under control. They love this ideal of being controlled. Baby, let me tell you, the midnight hour we in, that's the last thing you need to be in control, in bondage, submissive to the flesh of a man. What about Yah? Do you know who you are in him? You don't. And you can care less. You want to role play your way in. But guess what? The ones that's coming in and the parable of the 10 virgins, you notice the door was closed. They come back thinking they can knock on the door and get in. You best bet, no. I'm sure the days of Noah, when the flood, it began to rain and rain, they were running to hit on the ark, but couldn't get in. The reality is, my Father in heaven don't play that. Don't play that. And I say unto you, a lot of things that people are doing and teaching is not of Yah. Get away from them. And if the people gonna continue, because the gate, see, what people didn't understand, there's two gates. One that leads to what is life. That's the book of life. And that one that leads to the broad gate that leads to destruction. That's the lake of fire. Do you think when I'm on here telling y'all this about all the people going into the broad gate, following him, and the deceivers are leading those that are deceived? Why is that important for you to know today? Because when they approached Yeshua on Mount Olive privately, they wanted to know what you want to know. What is the end days? He said, hold up, let me tell you one thing. Before the end days, the greatest thing is don't be deceived. So what happens in this day? 99.9 are deceived. And it's okay in heaven, y'all. Don't get me wrong. That's the more and more the Father constantly telling me stay in my lane, the more and more I'm understanding that this is the will of the Father that's in heaven. And then when he rolled up with Revelation chapter 20, and I saw the earth and the sea flee from him that sit on the throne, and how the sun and the moon and the stars, we down here on earth thinking it's going to be something just that, no, baby, they respect my Father. It's just that you never learned how. What are they running from? That power. See, y'all don't understand that. If my Father created everything's supposed to fear him. Just because you don't mean nothing. That means that you're only going to fear the hell, the lake of fire in which you're going to get tossed in for eternal. That's going to be your greatest fear. Because on this earth, you ain't fearing nothing. You think you got what you want. You think you're doing what you want. You think you who you say you is. But in Yah, if you can't find yourself in righteous belief, faith, and fear in Yah, in your spirit, you are not who you think you are. You are not who you think you are. And he ain't dealing with you every day, communing with you, saying something to you, giving you that hope, that joy, that peace that passes all understanding. Because you know, living in this world, on this earth, is darkness, y'all. It ain't what y'all think. Now, like I was telling y'all, someone pulled up with the van and said, here, I bought this for you. Okay, bought this for you. All you have to pay is $14,000. I'm like, how was it bought for me? You see, the mindset of people and the way that they think and the way that they function. You see, how is it for me? The blessing comes when you do it out of the right heart. You see, this is what this is. And the Father is all about only those that I know. See, Yah is not sending people nowhere. And this is why people can't do anything. They got to fake it until they make it. And that's what they're doing. But the real deal, and let me tell you, they gonna cross their T's and dot their I's and do the will of the Father and keep it going. That's the real one. But back to, there's two sons. There's a son of Yah, and there's a son born of a woman, which is flesh. You all need to get with that. Now, this is the thing about the son that's born of the flesh. Okay? Because of all that he had invested in him, which was the word, the all power, the word and the spirit of the Most High in him, it helped him to walk in perfection. Okay? It wasn't he's the son of man and he was able to do. And that right there, I give him the props and the praise for such an excellent job Yeshua had done. And I know he done it with the son of Yah. But I want to say this, even Sister Deborah, who have the Ruach HaKodesh, I have never touched the rim of the Son of Man. But the Son of Man was totally mission to show Sister Deborah how it can be done. But can Sister Deborah match up toe-to-toe with him? No. That's the specialty of the Son of Man, is that Yah created his purpose to be perfect so that it can show us how we can walk while we're on this earth. You would never, ever, ever, ever get a Hebrew Israelite man, nor a woman, but we're going to stick with this man for a minute, to walk the way the son of Yah, not the son of a man walked, or come close or near or by. The Hebrew Israelite men, they don't want to go nowhere near the Son of Man, Yeshua. They want to use his name, play his game. They want to say they know him, they understand him. Why do y'all think, listen to this, what I'm about to say, why do you think they search for lost books? Why do y'all think they stay in all of those other books? Because none of them books teaches them how to walk the way the Father desires us to walk. So they want to stay in those other books that they lost, and the other books they say that was missing. They want to stay in all of that for a reason, y'all. They stay in over there to keep out of mimicking the Son of Man. Isn't that sad? In which the Son of Man came to show Sister Deborah and every human on this earth how it can be done. Even though he knew that we couldn't come toe to toe, he was our example. He was the one we were to mimic. These Negro men, they running around here mimicking David. They want to mimic Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They want to tell the women about Sarah, and they don't know a rat's behind about Sarah. You see? They want to tell you about the women who didn't do anything in the Bible and let the men have their way. They want you to follow all those ways without them following Yeshua's way. He was our only one that came and was born of a woman in the flesh, the Son of Man, that we may walk in the order of righteous belief, faith, and fear that he walked in. That is the brand. So what do? They go get all of these books. What did Solomon say? Much books bring much sorrow. ever learning. You always learning, and it's never bringing any happiness, no nothing. They prefer to go into all those books than to say, I'm going to stick with one that shows me how to walk in the way that Yah sent the Son of Man. They don't want that. These are also people who go search all other books and bring those books before you all. It's because that's the only way. And this is how sad it is, y'all. And it's kind of really sad. That's the only way the deceivers get away with deceiving. Y'all didn't know that. But that's another part of the truth of the whole matters. That's the only way they can deceive you, is to give you the books that they knew they have called to be lost and missing, because they think that you didn't know what's in these books. So the more they explain to you what Enoch and all these other books are saying, it'll make you think that they are equipped to rule you, to teach you, to make you see them here and you here. That was their only technique. Then you run over here to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 ain't told now one of these Negroes to go look for lost books. It didn't tell them nothing about lost books. Why didn't nowhere in the books of instructions and direction teaches you that books was going to be lost? Go get them. They hid them from you. It's nowhere to be found, y'all. They are deceivers out to deceive. Out to deceive those that need to be deceived, because they have no hand in the Most High Yah. So they need a place to rest their heads in the bosom of those that are deceiving them. Here is this one book. This is the only book Sister Deborah studies from. Why? Because I'm a true believer that there is a Holy Spirit of the Most High Yah, the Creator. I believe His breath of life brought into us a light, which is a spirit like unto His image into us. Sister Deborah don't believe in a soul, because they bring in the soul and they enjoy the soul, they embrace the soul, because the soul, the Roman Catholic put there so that you would never know who you are in the flesh and who you are in the spirit. Where is it that it's speaking heavily about Yeshua soul? Come on. Where is that? And if you see it, you can see just about where the Roman Catholics has smeared it in, which I don't think you're going to really see it. But we today, we meditate everything on soul, 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 soul. Where did the Most High tell Abraham anything about soul? About their soul, your seed soul? I'm telling you, there are so many things that we have chained ourselves to and have went away from what is truth of the whole matter. And Sister Deborah is a prophetess in the wilderness. I'm taught in the wilderness by the Ruach HaKodesh, and the Ruach HaKodesh gives me not permission to use the word soul. So I look at myself as one that has received the lane to run in. And with that being said, if He didn't give me and He have spoken to me, do not use the word soul, I'm not going to use it in my life, and I'm not going to speak it into no one else's life. It's about spirit and it's about flesh. He that is born of flesh is flesh. He that is born of spirit is spirit. Anything outside of that, let them keep adding it in. That's their portion, said Solomon. Let them add and feed. They'll never know who their spirit is, which is the image of Yah, a light. They'll never know the capacity of that ending up in the lake of fire. They would never know the capacity. They have even given the soul a body. They have given a soul a body. These are the things that come to confuse you in the journey in which you are on. And if it's that easy to confuse you, then therefore you know that you're in Revelation chapter 20, those books. Another thing, I've heard over and over, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principality in high places. The word high places and principality and powers leads me to understand there is a level of highness that Yah has suffered to be. Okay? And I believe that highness of that power and that principality is now on the earth. And I think it was connected to the judgment that is taking place and the things that is actually taking place. I think he has brought those principality in high places down to the earth to set up judgment. Okay? And I say unto you, there is not, Yeshua is not the Father, and the Father is not Yeshua. Yeshua is the Son of Man born of a woman, and Hamashiach, which is the Son of Yah, who comes down to work with the Son of Man. And when all that come down to work with him, that's why he say, when you see me, you see the Father. He's not talking about him per se, but the signs and the wonders and the teaching is what he's speaking of, you guys. Sister Deborah would say, I want to say I'm sorry, but I can hear him saying, don't say you're sorry. Just keep speaking spirit and truth. It's only for those who go through the narrow gate. So I, Sister Deborah, hope that each and every last one of you all receive something out of this and take it with you. It's not important what people are saying, y'all. They've been saying it for thousands of years, and where have they got? Have y'all noticed that? Look at how a church on every corner. Where have these churches gotten the people? Where have the people? What's different today? Outside of this, worse than yesterday. The whole earth is off course and out of order. But yet, you thinking you're holding spirit and truth. You thinking you're holding truth. How could you be holding any truth in the world being the condition that it's in? Sister Deborah holds spirit and truth because I hold what holds me, and that is the Ruach HaKodesh. That is my teacher. My place of learning is in the wilderness. I have the power. I have his spirit. I have his word, and he is my teacher. I see him to be all that he is, was, and going to be from the heaven level, not from the earth, because we can't give the Father what is entitled to him because we're hearing too much trash on the earth that's calling themselves giving you information from the heaven. So Sister Deborah, I hope that each and every last one of you all received something out of this, and I'm about to turn in and I'm like around the corner from where I reside, and I hope you all have a blessed evening. So Sister Deborah says, shalom and shalom.